All done, bro. Hey, okay. Hey, kia ora. This is a live recording, and so I'm going to get underway. We're right. We're a couple of minutes early, but before I actually get underway, I just want to share a number of things. I have another Zoom later on tonight. That's about 10 o'clock my time, and I've got a Zoom meeting with a number of my leaders with me. With Mr. Sandian, based over in Korea. He is our international A12 LCFHC global leader. And the network is closing in on towards 1 million people in the A12. They've gone past 600,000 probably a couple of months ago. And so that's just the extent of what's actually happening globally as we begin to draw a lot closer to the actual launch. And a lot of the things that I really do, just to give everybody an idea, the role that I'm currently doing at the moment is really ensuring that the compensation plan, the business model, the timeframes, and all those things, even those things associated with payments due to their members for building this particular platform. I'm working tirelessly at the other end of the spectrum to ensure all those mandates and those times and all those things that we've spoken about previously are honored and delivered. And so that's where most of my time is, people. It's spent in that area to ensure that our platform stays on track, because it's all about accountability and transparency. And I'm in there with a lot of our global leaders to ensure that the delivery of this particular platform that goes outside of China to the rest of the Western world is that we have I have all the relevant information that I can actually bring back and share with our group to ensure that everything stays on track. And like I say, to date, it has ticked all the boxes. And that doesn't mean that we're not going to have our own personal in-house challenges. And one of those challenges that is certainly confronting our team right now, which is has a lot to do at the higher level, further up the food chain, if I can share that. And that is to do with the username access and passwords and logins, which from time to time we've been experiencing. And probably in the last 48 hours, a little bit too frequent than the norm. And so that does provide for some measure of concern, certainly for myself and certainly for a lot of people within our group. But just to keep everybody informed in regards to that, I have called a meeting with Mr. Sandian tonight at 10 o'clock. And he's returned with the message with regards to, we will go through and deal with all those matters that of issues associated with those sort of things. So all those issues are getting addressed tonight. I wanted it to be addressed last night, but he's pretty busy at the moment. He's the designated IT person for the LCFHC outside of China. He's the only one outside of China that's been approved and authorized to be able to fix up certain aspects in our back offices and things like that. But in saying that, I do believe that the company needs to address other aspects directly associated with backup support rather than coming from within our own network, because some of those things is outside our jurisdiction, certainly outside our scope of works, and it should be something that should be better managed by the company. And so those are some of the concerns that I have. Not major, but it has everything to do with the fluency on how we actually function here down under. So I just wanted to let a lot of people know with regards to that. And also, right from the onset, I want to deal with matters pertaining to the Stallion Works, and there are posts that have been put up with. And I just want everybody just to be a little bit somewhat understanding, because this network group that we have going here, of which both Tracey and I are the LCFHC Australasia group, everything that's happening within this network is a part of our team. And I don't mind sharing it with you. The momentum in this particular group is now gone viral. It's growing with a lot of momentum. And there's a lot of reasons for that. And one of those other reasons, other than having a system, is that our focus point has always been on helping our people. And so long as we keep our kaupapa on helping our people and transparency and things like that, and bringing and keeping people better informed, this will grow to such a level and degree that we thought that wasn't possible, but it is now. For some of those of you that are new, this particular network has now expanded into in excess of 24 countries around the world from our group within this particular group. It's now crossed over 4 continents around the world, and we now have in excess of 100 groups, community groups within our network. And through doing this, the simple things associated with social media to maximize target demographics and things like that, we totally, as a group, totally dominate Google in terms of LCFHC hashtagging in the world. And that's all happening from down here, down under in the South Pacific. So we've got a lot to be proud of. We are the only network group, collectively, all of us together, that promotes and operates this platform using a structure of systems and Zoomcasts and hashtagging and posts and group pages. We're the only network operation globally that actually operates this way. And that's why we have better accountability. That's why we have better transparency. We have less others and problems. But we recognize that the expansion growth of the business does require some adjustments to be able to accommodate. So we're addressing those sort of issues. So I just want everybody just to be sort of open about that, because we are whānau together. We can talk to one another and things like that. But I just want to get things and keep things into perspective, that there are a lot of things that go by unnoticed, and some of those things does have I guess a silver lining point in terms of coping mechanisms and stuff like that. But I just want to share that everyone that's in here is in the right place right now at the right time. And I just want to share a little bit before I actually get straight into the business model, and that is this, is that if this is your first time onto a live Zoom webcast, I want to share with you that this is a business opportunity that's it's been 9 years in the making. It's been 9 years to get to this particular point, and it launches on July the 1st, and we're only hours away. And so this has been 9 years in the making of research by the company to put something together. And I wrote a post late this afternoon, and it is this. And this is really the one of the major key factors of why this whole business model was actually created. And this particular entire business platform is underpinned by this particular point. The Chinese government had a vision, and their vision was to help raise the living standards of its people that were living on the poverty line or below the poverty line to middle class status. And that was their goal 9 years ago. And they decided that in order to be able to raise those living standards, that they were looking at creating a business platform model of which they can achieve this. And I'm going to go and share a little bit about that. But just on that particular point, when I first saw this, and both Cyril, Cassidy and I first saw this going on to 6 months ago. And when we heard the vision of this particular platform, we said to ourselves after that particular invite and meeting, that if this is what they are saying, and this is what they are saying that they will do on a month-to-month basis, because they had put out a itinerary schedule, then I said to Cyril, Cassidy, this is something that we need to plug into, and we need to follow through. And that we both agreed that this has the potential to help our people in much the same way. And so 6 months ago, we saw this particular opportunity. And I want to share with you that over the 6 months, it has ticked all the boxes to date. And we all also knew that 6 months ago that the age of the cryptocurrency was the niche market that we needed to position ourselves. So there were certain aspects in seeing this that we knew that we were in the right space for the right time. But we were confronted with a lot of challenges, and I don't mind sharing those challenges with you. It lacked a lot of information. It lacked a website. There was a lot of blogs that were connecting and associating this platform back then. I'm going back 6 months now with regards to Rothschilds and a lot of other things that were going through. There was a lot of smoke screens and mirrors and stuff like that. And we decided that we needed to do our own homework and we needed to do our own due diligence. And so we did. And we hung tough on this particular co-papa on this project for all that time, 6 months. And now we are 2 days, 48 hours away from launch time. And can I just share with you, back in those days when we first started, never had a website. We knew very little about Feng Yuan coin, which is the blockchain cryptocurrency coin that the LCFHC is talking about. We never knew anything about LCFSW. We didn't understand the business model, how this could be a trading platform and things like that. It's because we were light on substance and information. But over that time, we hung tough and we went through and we began the campaign to share this amongst our people with the vision. And we've had a lot of people that have sat on the fence. We've had a lot of people who had opinions with it, and we respected that. But it ticked all the boxes, and that was the thing that really got to us. But one of the things that really set this alight for us was that approximately 6 to 7 weeks ago, the company made mention that they were going to hold a global summit meeting on an exclusive island in China, and that island, Sanya Island, and that they were looking at flying all the top corporate business companies and including government delegations from different countries to a summit conference. And they delivered on that. And the purpose and reason for them for delivering on that was to sign a commercial agreement, a signing declaration between LCFHC and all the top brand companies from around the Western world, and including China, of the likes of your Alibaba and Amazons and all the top branches and companies. And they flew them in. And it's critical to understand this, because we're talking about a company that is launching a cryptocurrency digital blockchain coin known as the Feng Yuan coin. But what they did first is they tied up the commercial business companies first. That is a huge tick in the box and a masterstroke of what they did. They tied the business companies up first. Now, I'm going to digress a little bit so that you can understand, and I'll show some slides very shortly. For many of you that don't quite understand cryptocurrency, there are in excess of 700 plus cryptocurrencies available in the marketplace today. And more notable than any is what we all know as a cryptocurrency called the Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is the prima donna. It became the gateway to the age of the cryptocurrency world. And we have much to be thankful for and give kudos for Bitcoin for that. And the reason why is because Bitcoin's been going now for just coming up to 8, going on to 9 years. And if you don't understand Bitcoin, I want to share this with you. It is not the coin that gives the value to cryptocurrency. It's the technology behind it. And you can call your digital coin anything you like, but it's the value is in the technology behind it, and that technology is known as the blockchain. Now, if you're relatively new, a lot of the stuff that I'm going to share with you regards to cryptocurrency and the business model and everything like that may just sort of fly over your head a little. I'm going to encourage and recommend you that you watch a video by the name of The Blockchain by a gentleman by the name of Don Tapscott. And Don Tapscott's a video version of Understanding the Blockchain, in my opinion, is the best blockchain video to actually glean off and learn. And if you watch that first, you'll get a great appreciation of understanding how LCFHC works, because it'll start to make a lot of sense to you. So that's my recommendation. If you go inside our main group page, which is the LCFHC Australasia page, you will find I've got there the blockchain, and go through and have a look and watch it. And if you are having difficulty, private message me and I'll send it across to you. Not only that, I'm just going to share some other things too, is that it's a vital tool. And I'm speaking here to leaders that are team builders and things like that. There is a PDF file, and this is something I'll send to you at the end of this, Johan, for your group and things like that. In this PDF is a full view of understanding how the business model actually works in a slide format. And take the opportunity to study it, and you'll be able to share it. And I've since learned that in order to build a successful business, we've got to be good custodians of being able to teach to duplicate. And duplication is the big factor. And unfortunately, for some, it takes a little bit longer in terms of being able to get that due process across. But we have the opportunity within our own group, because we know our people, and we can spend a bit of time with them to teach them, so that a lot of things can be actually duplicated, and they can actually share it amongst their own members and things like that, which sort of, in the beginning, when we first started this, it was never about ourselves. It was about reaching our people collectively, a community. And that was our whole goal. And we're starting to achieve that now. But one of the things that we recognized in order to do that we needed to bridge the gap by putting systems in place, because we recognized quite early that not all our people are computer savvy, not all our people know how to navigate around the internet. And so it was our goal and vision right from the very beginning to implement something that would help our people, so that they could actually have the opportunity to be successful at a business model that I believe that they can all do. And so we set all these systems in place to be able to bridge the gap. And now it's all about our leadership and things like that, being able to duplicate that through down our networks and things like that. So I just wanted to take the opportunity just to sort of start and commence. That's just to put everything on the right keel and stuff like that. Currently, at the moment, we are having and experiencing some issues associated with logins, passwords, and things like that. All those matters are getting addressed at 10 o'clock tonight. I have a group of leaders that are going to be in on that with me, and they're my direct frontline leaders, and we're going to be going through the whole process, so we'll be able to resolve a lot of those particular issues later on tonight. And so that's all been addressed. So I just wanted to share that, but I want to sort of get right into some of the more authentication. So I'm just going to go off screen for a while. I'm going to bring up a couple of images here, and I'm going to start by just sort of giving you just a little sort of a preview of where this whole business model has sort of started and created from, just a bit like a kind of a timeline moving forward. So I'm just going to bring up a couple of pictures and things like this. This here is at the Sania Summit convention, of which all the corporate business companies around the world were flown in, and this basically is the hierarchy of the LCFHC corporate company. The lady in the middle, the third from the left, she is the CEO of the LCFHC group. Her name is Mrs. Hen Yang Ting, and Mr. Wu, and The gentleman to the right is Mr. Sandy Yarn. He is our A12 Global International Leader. And just to put everybody into so that you fully understand, both my wife and Tracey and I are personally sponsored by that gentleman, and from him, our whole front line and the LCFHC Australasia flows directly from there. And he's the #1 in the world of A12 group, which is closing in towards 1 million people, or 600,000. And it's a huge network and those sort of things. So I just wanted to sort of share some of those sort of things with you. Some of the other things that I just want to bring before we actually get straight into is I'm going to bring out an example here of how the stallion works and everything came to be. Now I'm going to use Te Haupai, and I don't know if Te Haupai is actually on tonight, but this is one of our leaders, Te Haupai Davis. He does IT and a few other things like that. Very intelligent, is a team builder, motivator. This is his group page. Now, the whole purpose of having a design graphic art like this is to create a branding. And so this becomes his group page for all his members that join him. And so he wanted a bit of a Māori sort of feature and things like that to brand his organization. But what I want to share with you is that this is all created by my wife, who owns Stallion Works. And each group gets their own particular design, and she gets a feel of the actual person, and she goes to work and she creates something that's original for them. But inside this particular graphic art, in the description, is your free to join registration link or ID. It's in the description, so that when people begin to like it and they get to read it, they will actually see your own free to join registration form link. And that has helped a lot of people join people's business once they get to understand. So there was a method to the madness as to why this was actually created. And from out of this came the implementing of setting in place a fully automated system. And we need a system, people, to be able to promote this particular platform. In fact, I recommend that it's a must to actually have one. And if I could share this with you, the reality of it is this: if you join the platform, somebody without a group page, without a system, join, this is what actually happens. Once you join, you would actually go back to the person and you'll actually ask the person, what do I do next? But if you had a system like this, all the information that you ever need in this business, by actually having a system, is in your own group page. All the latest updates. You don't even have to present the presentation. This presentation right now is actually live. It's been recorded. And it'll be posted inside our main group page. It'll be posted inside the person whose group we're hosting. And by the way, sorry, George, this meeting tonight's hosted for George Tito and his group. And so a lot of people that are on here are part of George's family that have been invited. And I know certainly Johan's group and things like that, because they're all part of that same family. And this meeting tonight's hosted for on behalf of them. And so what happens at the conclusion of this meeting, this gets all uploaded, downloaded, and it actually gets put up inside George's group. And so you get the opportunity to go and view it. And if you have family and friends that want to understand, you play this recording and you'll see the whole presentation. You get an insight of what the background is and everything like that. So you don't have to go and present this to your people. It's all done for you. And so that's a good thing about having a system like that. More than that, it brands you as a leader, and it brands you as someone that people want to relate to with in this particular platform. So that's why this has actually grown to more than 100 groups in our network. And if you were to Google LCFHC, you will find that all the groups that are in there, 85 to 90% of them come straight from within our group, and we are dominating it throughout the world. And we're way ahead of a lot of the other African countries and that are promoting this. We're the only one that does it this way, and it's because we bring structure into the business platform. And I just felt the need to kind of share that with you. But there's all different types of graphic arts and things like this, and this is all to create a branding of your particular business. And this is another one. This is LCFHC Sunshine Coast, where I live, and the leaders around here on Sunshine Coast is some of our frontline direct leaders are Warwick and Julie Taylor and things like that. And so it doesn't matter wherever you are. We've got this is expanded throughout Australia, New Zealand, and 21 other countries and things like that. So I just wanted to share those sort of things, and to actually have this automated system is there is a due process of protocol, and there are people that have paid for the system without fully filling in all the necessary forms and things like that. But we've actually put up a post in terms of what is required, and that these things are the things that need to be done first to be able to get the system done. And there is the turnaround time, and there was a few things that needed to be dealt with today. And can I just share this with you, is that currently, at the moment, we've been sort of putting a lot of emphasis on our registrations and things like that, that has took up a bit of time. And so we've had to in-house hold back on some of the processing of the group pages, because the passwords and access to our network is invaluable. And so a lot of efforts has actually gone into that today to go through people's usernames and ensure that everything is correct. So I just wanted to sort of share that with everybody, but everything in regards to that side, we are moving forward and on track, and we'll get a lot of those sort of issues resolved certainly tonight. But tonight I'm actually, right now, I'm actually going to share about the Feng Huan by digital cryptocurrency coin. I'm going to actually share a little bit about that, but just to put things into perspective, and I'm going to give you a visual model to look, so that once you see it, you'll understand. And so I'm going to bring up this slide here, and so that you would remember this in your own mind, because you would have a visual in your mind in terms of understanding the business. Now, this particular platform is 5 systems and 3 family groups that all work simultaneously together, but operate quite separately, if that makes any sense. 5 systems and 3 family groups to be run separately. And I think once you visualize this visual aid, you'll actually begin to understand what I'm saying. I'm going to talk in retrospect to the LCFHC system, which is here on the left. And then at the completion of this, I'm going to share tonight on the LCFSW, and I'll bring some understanding on this one here called the Internet of Things IOT Shopping Mall systems. So just to give you a very quick, brief overview, this is the LCFHC system, and it works like this. And I'm going to go into a little bit more detail. The LCFHC system provides tremendous leverage for those people who are looking for an opportunity. It provides 6 income streams that you can leverage with and build a business. Let me just sort of share that again. The LCFHC is the open gateway and portal that allows you the opportunity to create 6 different income streams off the one platform. 6 income streams. Now, this is how it actually works, and I'll just share with you how it actually works. If you are looking at this opportunity for the first time, and someone shares the opportunity with you, and they will direct you to a free to join registration form. It's free to join. Okay, and so when you actually sign the registration, it will give you the opportunity to become a part of the system, and there's a criteria. The criteria to that is you need to be of the age of 18 here in Australia and New Zealand, 18 plus, and you need to provide a bona fide ID, be that in the form of a driver's license, a passport, if you're based in Australia, an 18 plus card, or a government recognised card of the likes of a university student ID or a polytechnic TAFE card, that sort of thing. And the reason for that, people, so that you understand, because there are a lot of people that don't like handing over their personal credentials, and I understand that. But in terms of the nature of this business allows you to shop online, and part of that shopping is shopping online overseas. And the criteria to shopping online overseas, you do also require to submit an ID. And so it's a natural thing to do. But what we do ask for those that join initially is we don't ask for a photocopy of anything. We require initially just the reference details of your particular ID, whether that be a license, passport, 18 plus, university card, etc., etc. And the same goes for New Zealand. I'm sure they have a adult card of some description that is acceptable as well. Okay, so that's actually how it sort of gets going. Now, when you actually register for free, now I'm going to give you some dates, write them down. You can introduce people into this platform all the way up until September the 15th. So you have up until September the 15th to be able to share this opportunity with people where they can actually join on this platform for 100% free. After the 15th, on the 16th, if you want to participate in this platform, the only way you can get access to this is through someone who is already on the platform, and from the 16th to be able to participate in, it will cost you to actually join that. And it's been rumored that the access costing to join that will be $100 US, which is the minimum package of the Fingwan coins that can be purchased, and I'm talking about at the cost of what it is today. So, okay, so those dates are quite important. The 15th of September, you can join for free. Now, I'm sure that many of you would have been introduced this because there's an opportunity to join, but not only because you have the opportunity to join, but the person introduced says you would also receive $1,380 USD in your back office. And I just want to sort of confirm with you that that is so, and that is correct. So let me just sort of bring something up on the screen. It's here somewhere. Here we go. Okay. Now, this is one of my, this is going back right in the very, very beginning. I'm not even certified on this one. But so what happens is you join this particular business opportunity for free, and the person says, and for joining, once you've gone through the due process of registration, username, verification, and all those sort of things, you will find inside you will be your back office. Once you've been processed, and inside your back office is an e-wallet, and inside your e-wallet is $1,380 US in your e-wallet. Okay, so that's just to verify, because I'm sure many of you would have known that. Now, for those that introduce people into this particular business opportunity, the compensation plan does pay you a recruitment bonus, and that recruitment bonus is $100 USD for every person that you introduce into this particular platform. $100 USD. Now, let me actually, $100 USD is an estimate 144 New Zealand dollars per person that you introduce to this platform for free. If you're based here in Australia, it's an estimate 137 AUD depending on the currency and the exchange rate on the day. Okay, so that's what happens. So let me just retract. You get the opportunity to join for free up until September the 15th, and for registering and providing the right bona fide IDs and going through the process to be able to access the back office, you would find that there is $1,380 USD in your back office in your name. And that for every person that you recruit into this business, you will be paid $100 USD for each person. Now, if you have a look at this dashboard I'm on, this is going back ages ago. I got 4 members that I joined in at this particular